Hey guys, I have two things I want to talk about this evening, and they fit together. The first one is about influence and inspiration and honesty and credit. And the second is a fun new update to the skeleton holster that they kind of just came to be in an interesting way. Now, I got to talk about something that's for those of us who are making our own holsters, and it could be those of us who have started successful little businesses, have expanding businesses like have become a big name, or are just rolling your own in your kitchen. There's an elephant in the room that I want to talk about, and it's kind of like a double-edged sword a little bit, and that is the success and influence of the Raven concealment holsters. And I think that a lot of us would be negligent if we didn't admit what an impact they had on us and in the field. Now, I never, ever, under any circumstances, want to look at what somebody else is making and deride it in any way. And that's not the point of this, and I'm not even going to get into that. They're obviously a group of hardworking people who care about what they make and make an awesome product. And that success casts a huge shadow over the rest of us that I think we need to acknowledge and own up to. I mean, I'm under the impression that I get a lot of customers who, the supply can't meet the demand, so the demand came to me. I started, rolling my own holsters and doing little videos about how to do it, and then all of a sudden there was a customer base that I never anticipated tapping into. And then I'm sure there are a lot of other folks who, like me, see that there's this these holsters with these capabilities and a certain kind of tactical cachet that is not accessible to them either due to the wait time or the cost. And they recognize that there's now an opportunity to take advantage of that, and that's business sense. However, in the attempt to sort of generate a holster that meets everybody's expectations of what a clean finish looks like, what my expectations of a professional looking holster are, inevitably, I mean, I made a post on the Filster Facebook page earlier today that they're like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to an extent. I might cut the crusts off, you might put, crunchy peanut butter in yours, somebody might use strawberry jelly, you might use toast or, or marshmallow fluff, but at the end of the day, you can make them in your kitchen. And generally speaking, within a certain margin, they're all going to kind of taste the same. But where was I going with this? I'm rambling. I just want to say, and I just want to be honest, that due to the scope of this other company's success, that impacts me. Whenever you make a product, you're putting that vocabulary, that design out into the world. And people are going to absorb that, and it's going to change fashion, it's going to change style, it's going to cause people and other companies to adjust to what you're doing. And I want to acknowledge that there is a fundamental difference between copying, appropriating, and adopting, right? If somebody has a practice that's better than yours, you're going to adopt that practice, like a skill or a technique. If somebody has a design feature that you like, you can appropriate it. And if you just want the thing itself, you can copy it. These are all things that, designers, artists, and craftsmen do. It's part of building vocabulary. It's something that musicians do. If nobody ever copied each other, we'd never have jazz. Some guy hears a lick or a riff and he goes, okay, I want to take that. I want to put that into my language. Now, I want to be honest that I do see things out there. I see things from everybody Anybody who might send me something that's, hey John, look at what I'm working on. I see a review of a product that I like. I see just like a texture or an aesthetic or a solution for a problem. And I'm going to appropriate that because that's all out there in the world. I'm not going to pass somebody else's stuff off as though it's mine. I'm not going to use somebody's language or design and not credit them for it. And this is what gets me into the next step of what I want to talk about, right? First, I want to be honest. And I want to say that I am inspired by other people. I want to say that other people do have solutions that are better than me. And that I'm going to recognize that and I'm going to use it. But at the same token, I got to stand on the shoulders of these giants, admit that I'm on these shoulders. But it's also my responsibility to not just leave it at that. I'm not just going to, copy and paste. I got to go a step further because that's our responsibility in this shadow. If we're going to pick up the slack in the industry, if we're going to, eat somebody else's scraps, we got to at least do a better job of it somewhere, or, metabolize that and innovate. So, back in August, I started making the little, skeleton holster, and I started putting a little J-hook on them. And while I liked the concept, I was never 100% satisfied with the execution. And the original skeleton holster that I was doing was kind of like a mishmash of like the Mick style holster and the original Raven Vanguard. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's a technique, that's a style that's out there, that's available for you to appropriate and to use as part of your language, as long as you're not ripping it. You can't just rip it and copy it. You have to put yourself into it a little bit. You have to care about what you're making. You can't just copy it because somebody wants a copy. That's not the same. And so anyway, the J-hook, I was never really satisfied with my execution of it, but I wound up getting swamped with other stuff, and I didn't really have time to revisit it. And then I saw the videos of the Vanguard 2 from the SHOT Show, and they had a really great solution for that problem, for that mounting hardware problem. And I was really excited to see what they came up with. And I really liked that solution. I liked that feature. However, I kind of, on the one hand, you look up to somebody, you look to see what they're doing, and you look to them to lead the way in some respects, and you kind of have like a really high standard. So I was kind of let down about two features of the Vanguard 2, but they're both features that Raven confesses. They are, I saw the demo video of the SHOT Show from I think it was like the Military Arms channel, and they highlight 2 points. One, at the moment it only fits Glocks, and two, there's no one-handed reholstering technique or reholstering capability available. And those are two things that I think it's up to us to innovate, up to us to satisfy the demand for those features. And I'm going to admit right now that this solution stands on the backs of on the shoulders of that giant, insofar as their belt mounting hardware idea is brilliant. And however, I've taken upon myself to look at that solution and then do the two things that it doesn't do. That is, fit other guns and do one-handed reholstering. So I'm going to demo that for you right now with my full-size M&P. There you go. I believe that a system like this for concealed carry should have one-handed reholstering, because if I draw the gun, take my shots, and then I need to call the cops, I'm not going to be standing there fumbling with my gun and fumbling with my holster when the cops show up on the scene. I'm not going to put my phone down or put my gun down when I'm out somewhere where I'm potentially vulnerable, or just in this chaotic situation where I've put fire on a target. So it needs to one-handed reholster. Now let me show you what I got going on here. It is a pull the dot with a strut. However, this is designed to fit all sizes of the M&P, and I'll show you how I do that. So this has one-handed reholstering capability because I make it a little bit larger. It wraps around the top of the gun. We got a big clearance here for the sight, and the strut and tie, the loop looks familiar, but that's just a good solution. I mean, these exist. These loops exist anywhere. You can buy them off the shelf. Come on, yeah, these loops exist anywhere. You can buy them off the shelf. And what's it take to come up with this? That's just a clever strategy. And I appreciated that. However, it's got to fit more than just the Glock. And you got to have one-handed reholstering. So this whole system helps guide the gun back into the trigger guard grip, which is open on this side. So it readily flexes and accepts the trigger guard for the gun, allowing it to reholster. And you've got this wraparound guide that fits it in, that guides the gun in rather. So this is something we're coming out with. We're going to make this available for users who have an M&P. This will fit the full size, the compact, the 45, the 9, the 40. This is going to be available for basically anything we can get our hands on. If this is the kind of capability that you want, if you want to rely on something like this, this is going to be available. This is just our prototype. I think we're going to make a couple and see how people like them, get them into people's hands. And I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the solution. I'm happy with the function. It's comfortable and it's small. It doesn't add gratuitous bulk to the gun. That's about that. I mean, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the philosophy behind this, and let me know what you think about the capabilities of this little skeleton holster. I think what we're going to do, this is now going to be the full-size skeleton holster, and then the little guy with the paracord is going to be the skeleton micro. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Hope you guys are interested in this, because I think this takes the concept to the next step and the next level that I believe it really should be at. Not only does it fit a variety of guns, but it has one-handed reholstering capability, which I think is critical to this application. So anyway, I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback, and I'll talk to you guys soon.